How have you been processing the last few days?
Been tough, because Ham is one of my closest friends. Grew up with him. I just been around him just since we grew up. He's like a brother to me, and it's just hurt, for something like that to happen. It was very unfortunate. It's like one in a million years something like that would happen, man. And I just feel for his family. I've been up there. I've been able to go up there and just try to bring them up in spirits, but they're strong, and he's doing well so far. So we just go from there. As long as he's good, and I'm good.
So you did visit the hospital?
Yes, Tuesday. I wanted to go when it happened, but it's probably super hectic. His parents was just all out of whack, so I just wanted to wait and give him time.
Can you trace that relationship? How did it start? When did you guys first meet? How did you become close?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so just growing up in the same area, we both came up in the same youth organization. The same organization that my mom is running now. And my mom and his father is real tight because his father coached in that same youth program, and him and all those guys kind of looked up to me because I'm a little older. So me knowing those kids coming up and me wanting to just show them guys the ropes and to get out the hood and make their dreams come true. I was always that outlet for those guys to always come back, ask me questions, and just carry them and help them whenever they need it. And from that point on, as we matured and got older, I was leaving college, they were just committed. I would always go back and see them guys. And even when I was in college and he would come for visits, I would always put him on my hip and just make sure I guided him down the right way.
Zach said
the first thing that went through my mind, just a simple injury. I didn't think nothing was bad, because it's football. Everybody take bang hits, but then when I seen him down, really not moving, and not really responding to what, because I was trying to speak to him, he wasn't giving me anything, and just seeing that, and then just kind of went in shock, but it still didn't hit me yet, because it's a football play. But once everybody was coming over and it was getting kind of serious, then it kind of touched me in a way to where, man, you just can't take things for granted, like regardless of who we're playing against, man, that's my brother no matter what, I grew up with him, and just, man, it was just words can explain the relationship that I got with him.
Zach Taylor said it really sank in after he talked to you on the field and you said that that's your guy. What was that conversation like for you?
It really wasn't too much, it was just that I wanted to just stay by his side, because when it just happened, I just stood there and took a knee right over him. But at the precaution, they told the teams, you got to separate teams, you can't be there. But at the same time, I was letting them know that I'm not just trying to do this because it's a tragic injury, which I probably would have, but that's one of my close friends. I wanted to be there and support him and stay by his side because I know his parents, and his parents, I felt for them not being able to be on the field for him. So I wanted to be the closest family member that he had there. Not saying the Bills didn't have his back and things like that, but that's just a relationship that we have. I'm sure he would do the same thing for me, but Zach just asked me was I real close with him, because he knew that I kept trying to go over there, and not be held back and whatever they said. I just wanted to be there, but he understood. It wasn't no back and forth with that.
What kind of person is he? We've heard stories, but to you, what kind of signifies what kind of person he was?
Oh, man, I kind of look at him like myself. He's a very genuine person, outgoing, very, very friendly, and he keeps the same mentality, same attitude, don't come in, never came around me feeling no type of way, doesn't get down. He's just a great guy to be around. He's a guy that can pick people's spirits up, and that's a guy that you want in the locker room or to be in your friend circle, and just seeing that happen to a guy that's been so good and been waiting his turn. He started playing, been starting and been playing heck of a football, man. It's just so unfortunate, man, to see that happen to one of those guys who does everything right, stay out of trouble, got a clean record, and just parents have been around for him, helping him. It's just so crazy, man.
How have you tried to prepare for a game this week while still having everything this going on?
Yeah, man, that's the tough part, because at the end of the day, this is a business, and we don't really have too much say so. At the end of the day, for me, it was kind of hard. If I wouldn't have got good news for him, I ain't no telling how I would have took this week. Because I probably would have reacted a little differently, because it's more than a game to me. Football always going to be here when we're done. But a life, to fight for someone's life and be there for a guy that you always represented and always been there for, whatever he did around the communities and things like that, man, I want to stand by that, and I probably would have. But with him having the positive feedbacks and how he's going with his days, he's finally up, and that's what I've been getting. So now I kind of feel relieved to just going into this week and just figuring a way to just get the job done.
Less than 2 hours ago, doctors from UC said the first thing that Damar asked was, did they win the game? How much does that align with the Damar you know?
Huge, it just shows how determined he is and how much what he puts out there. He like that's our motto. That's what we live by. We live by you got to do whatever it takes to win, and that's how he was raised. That's coming from Pittsburgh, where I'm from. We always play with that chip on our shoulder. We always pride ourselves on the blue collar state, and I know how much it meant to him. Like I said, man, he finally got that opportunity to start and been playing heck of a football, man, this whole season, and for him to just go through that. Of course, he want to know was how the game turned out, but I mean, I just wish we'd have been able to play. I wish I'd have been able to compete against them and go out there and just see how good he'd been training and just keeping him on his feet, man. Just not having to go through this.
You're a little older than him, Tyler. You're a little older than him. Did he look up to you? I mean, was it the type of thing where he looked up to you, I would imagine?
Yeah, absolutely, because during my era, when I was coming up, I was kind of like really the only guy who had made it outside of Aaron Donald. But him and us was a little closer than that, and like I said, that Little League youth organization is what kind of kept a lot of guys with me and the younger guys close, because they kind of looked up to me. They seen how I did my high school career, how I went to college, and how I translated from, each level of football. And those guys just wanted a mentor, a guy that they can follow and trust, and I was that outlet for them. Because I always wanted to give back no matter what, because I didn't have that person I can lean on to help guide me in that right direction. So when those guys came up, man, I just made sure I do my best. It was just, even if they didn't come to Pitt or didn't want the advice, I was still going to go back and let them know how they should move prior to, developing into that next level.
Did you give the advice to go to Pitt? Did you give the advice to go to Pitt?
I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted that to be up to them. Obviously, I wanted all the hometown good players to stay at Pitt, to rebuild and make Pitt the Pitt they used to been back in the day. So I wanted them to go to Pitt, but I never said that to them. I just wanted them to just build something and create something that they had coming up and just do it in the way they wanted to do it, and not just do exactly how we did it, But I just wanted to just guide them and just mentor them in any way I can, and just tell them from right to wrong.
There's a report while you were at practice that they're going to cancel the game and you're not going to make it up against the Bills. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's tough. It's only tough because of the seedings. I can't really talk about that. I don't know how the league's going to carry that. Do I want to push everything back? I don't really think we should do that. I mean, I think we should just play out this week and we figure out the 2 and 3, see if we win. I think that's the biggest issue, is just figuring out who win this week. But again, man, it's kind of tough for me, it's kind of tough to get my head off of my boy, and just go out there and just play, But at the same time, I'm going to go do it for him. No matter if I'm his teammate or not. I've been always his boy. I've always been his teammate. I've always been somebody he can lean his shoulder on.
Had you talked in the days leading up to the game? Had you talked?
Was there a part of you that didn't want to play on Sunday?
Talking about against the Bills?
No, coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, man, just not knowing the status of him worried me. Like I said, man, I took to my IG, I posted the picture with him. Like, it's much bigger than the game, man. And for me, like I said, it would have been a hard decision for me to go out there and play, not knowing if he was going to be okay. That would have been probably one of the biggest decisions I would have had to make this whole year, well, into the new year. But I'm just glad he's good. That's the only thing that's on my mind. Now I'm in ease that I can just, focus on what I had to do with my job, But I couldn't really pinpoint. It's tough. I probably wouldn't know till Friday or something if I would go or not, if he wasn't good. But he's good, so.
What have your conversations been with T since the incident?
Oh, man, I know T felt real bad because, he was the one that caused it. He didn't cause it, but the thing about it that I was seeing everybody giving T crap, but people don't really know the relationship that he was building with him. I brought him to my camp with D-Ham, and, they became friends, and they probably knew each other prior to that because T was at Clemson. They was playing against each other, so he already knew about him, but when I had T come to my camp, they was kind of start to build that relationship like it was cool. It was always genuine. It was never like a purpose, like a purposely like rivalry every time they play each other, So T got a good head on his shoulders, and he kind of didn't take it as bad. But man, I just stayed on him because I know how much he felt after the game about it, and I know he was getting a lot of things on Twitter and on social media, and but I know it's not his fault. at all. And with all the politics and whoever is saying, whatever they saying is wrong for that, very disrespectful, I feel like, because T's a human being too. You know, it could have flipped, could have been T, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's football at the end of the day, so, I mean, I felt for him, and he's doing good now that Hamlin's okay. So that's the biggest thing.
You mentioned playing him. Had you guys been talking the days before the game, and what were those conversations like? It sounded like you wanted to really kind of have fun with him out there. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was crazy because me and him was just pretty much talking the whole week, you know, because it was his first time playing against me and in uniform and just being on the same field together, you know, because I didn't get to play with him in college and then come to the league, get to play. And then my other pit guy, Dane Jackson, was over there playing as well, you know, so we was very prepared, you know, and then right before we actually played, we was warming up for pregame, and I seen him, and we talked out. We told each other we loved each other, and just have a heck of a game, man. We was gonna swap jerseys at the end, then just went soft, man.
Give him a
Kind
wink
of part
after you
of your
scored.
mindset that's kind of shifted and realize. Obviously, you guys go out there every Sunday and realize the magnitude of it. But is this kind of put it in a different perspective?
Yeah, man, it's definitely an eye opener, you know, because they say, I mean, we live and die on the field, you know, that's just a theory, you know, because how much we put into the game, you know, but for that to actually like put his life on the line for a football game, is it worth it? No, you know what I'm saying? So it just let people know just to don't take things for granted, you know, and just always be genuine, always be kind, and always respect people because you never know when that moment could come, you know. Like I'm very happy that he's able to live through the great gestures that everybody was able to do for his foundation and just for him, period, you know, and for him to be able to surpass that tragic injury, for him to see that, you know, it's going to be very, very special for him, and I know he's gonna heal well and just take that very, very, very positively.
Was he near you when you scored? Was he near you on the field? You beat
He
White.
wasn't. He was watching Chase on that play days and quarters. He came down on Chase on a runner, and then I had the big post, so he wasn't really on that play. So
What if he was? What would you have said to him?
it's time to play. You know, I probably would have said a few things to him, chop at him, but man, I respect him, and I probably wouldn't talk no trash to him. Respect one another, you know. But at the same time, we love to compete. You know, we might have got a little wordy, a little fun, but never nothing serious, nothing to really make him mad or vice versa. You know, because I care about him at the end of the day.
TB, how ready do you think you guys will be emotionally to step on the field Sunday against Baltimore?
I can't really speak for everybody. For me, I think I'll be pretty fine now that like I said, now that he's okay and he's responsive and he's talking and can feel hands and just things like that. That relieves me from everything. You know, like you said, if I was able to play or not, I think I'd have probably still been worrying and still probably been playing on my head a little bit. But now that he's okay, I'm good to go.
Have you reached out to him at all personally or his family?
Yeah, like I said, I'm very close with his dad and his mom, and they always been to the events that I've hosted for the community and vice versa. You know, since he's gotten in the league and he done what he had to do, I was always around, always show face, and even before that, you know, I always there for him to support him, to help him along the way, man. And just going to go see him, man. Well, his parents, his dad was starting to feel a little better because he believed. You know, he's always around things like that. He's a tough guy, and that's how he raised his son to be. And he knew he would pull through. But his mom, on the other hand, she was never going to leave him. You know, and I'm pretty sure they didn't get any sleep. And that's just so hard because I can't even think of myself in that situation. You know, how my mom, how my family would feel, and it just hurt because for me to want to cry and other people who don't know him to have that same feeling, man, it just lets you know how serious and how real that unfortunate event was.
Now that he's
a
awake.
photo from Instagram that you posted. What was that from?
Oh, it's from my camp. Both pictures from my camp last year. You know, he's been to every single camp I hosted. He helped every camp. You know, anything I ever done in the community, he always the first one there, man. And he's not even like my initial friend group, like grew up with me wise. He always, like, he was just that guy that always took the advice from me, and when he made it, he never turned into his own course. He still always leaned on me and other guys to figure out what's the next step after year 1, year 2, year 3. You know, he never got complacent. You know, he's never afraid to ask, and he's never afraid to kind of follow through somebody else's path until he figure out his own.
Now that he's awake, will you go back tonight, tomorrow? Will you go see him at some point?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll probably get up there tomorrow, you know, because I think they stop the visitors at 6 or early. I don't know what time, but we probably not gonna get off in time. But I just want him to heal. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are starting to come see him, and I just probably get up there by tomorrow.
Has it helped you getting back into the building and kind of diving into the game plan for Sunday? Has it helped you at all?
It didn't really help, and it really didn't hit me until I knew he was good. Until they said he was responsive, because his pops had texted me, and his marketing guy texted me right away when they got the good news. So that was kind of a relief. They told me that right around the walkthrough, so I was kind of at ease. I kind of could bring out myself again around, because I was still kind of like not really trying to be bothered, really not into the ping pong, and it was just a little slow until I found and heard some news of it.
TB, you are very close to T. Higgins. Did you reach out to him on Monday night, just offering him support?
Absolutely. T knew what it was, because after the game, we both just locked with each other and just talked to each other about the incident. T didn't purposely do that, because like I said earlier, they could have went the other way. T could have took it instead of Ham. So it's football. Things like that happen, but for that to happen, and what's the odds of that is crazy, but for guys or whoever to criticize T for hitting him, what can he have done? And for T to do that and make him cause that, he feels super shitty about it, which he should, because that's a traumatic injury. Like that'll mess you up, on the inside, because he know that could have went either way. But he's a level-headed guy, and he understands what it takes to just get himself together. Like I said, I think he probably feel a little better now that D-Ham is okay. So that's the best thing that we could start to heal from once you hear news like that.
When you heard Bart Scott's comments, did you feel protective over T?
Absolutely. Like I said, I could have been double-sided. That's a football play. D-Ham popped straight up. It wasn't like he blindsided him or a dirty hit. It was no dirty hits and things like that. But it's just like, how can you pinpoint on that? Like, I just feel like that's disrespectful for you to try to use your face or name to capitalize in the media field. I just feel like that wasn't appropriate. I feel like you could have handled that a lot better as a professional, because like it's T, he's a good kid. Everybody knows that. He'll never intentionally go out there and hurt a person. That's not in his MO, bro. So yeah, I didn't appreciate that.
Has Fanatics gotten back to you about getting a jersey for pregame?
I'm not sure yet. I gotta check now. I did that right before practice, so hopefully I can get one. I believe I will. Hopefully.
Going back to the team, you look at all that he's been through in his life. Obviously, this was in no way, shape, or form intentional, but his ability to kind of just compartmentalize and just move forward and not let it affect his work. How much respect do you have him for his ability to do that? Going back to what happened with his dad.
Yeah, right. Major respect, man, because like it's already hard to deal with playing after a loss that's very close to you, and T kind of dealt with that. He came in a little down, and we all tried to pick him up and not bother him. It's kind of hard to go about that when you care about a guy and you want to make sure he's good, but at the same time you got to kind of let that person heal and go about it however they want to go about it. And then when he kind of made that hit and kind of severely hurt D-Ham, probably struck it even harder, made him probably get even more in his feelings and thoughts about, dang, like I just lost somebody super important to me. And then you just turn around and just do that in a play that you never think, like that could traumatize you, get PTSD and things like that. But like T is just so level-headed. He's not a guy who's willing to just give up, because he's doing this for a purpose. He's still doing this for his mother. He's doing this for us. He's doing it for people who still care about him. So T just do a good job of not jeopardizing his life for things that really wasn't in his control.
Have you used any of the resources that the NFL or the Bengals provide as far as mental health from the trauma of the injury?
I haven't. I don't know if T have, but I haven't.
If you're fortunate enough to score on Sunday, any kind of celebration or tribute for Damar, have you thought about that?
Yeah, I definitely thought about that yet, but definitely didn't come up with it yet. But I'll be sure to do something for him.
All right, on that note, we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you, Stacey. Really appreciate it.
So what have these last few days been like for you?
Still processing everything to try to actually put it into words of, what we saw, what we experienced. my role with our union and our leadership, being on the executive committee. Not much sleep, like been on different calls and stuff, but again, trying to figure out, how do we move forward? How do we, just even take the next step with something that's so unique. There's nothing I've ever seen, nothing I've ever experienced. I don't think nothing anyone in this locker room or around our league has seen or experienced. So it's unprecedented. And, as somebody who decided to take on that role with leadership, we're just trying to figure things out and whatever that looks like. But, I'm proud of the leadership on this team. I'm proud of our organization. I'm proud of our union for continuing to just provide the resources that guys need. And just staying in constant communication with them and saying, hey, our guys are thinking this, I think a call would be great. I think, having different resources provided here would be awesome. And that's what it's been, just trying to figure it out.
Has the league listened to you and the other players about what they want to do about the game?
That's outside of our control. Again, in talks with our union leadership, like the main thing was Damar, right? We just wanted to make sure, one, the focus and concentration was on Damar and his health. I'm thankful for our leadership in this locker room for game night and, being with the Bills players and everybody understanding, like, everybody's focus is, man, that's one of our brothers. Even though that's not our teammate, that's still one of our brothers in this union. Like, we want to make sure, like, we show enough respect and concern. Like, we're concerned about his health, too. So when it comes to this game, man, like, we don't control the final say-so. We don't control the final outcome. We're prepared to go play this game on Sunday, and whatever the league, mandates moving forward, we're prepared for that.
You mentioned being one of the leaders on this team. What has your advice been for some of the younger guys especially?
One, after witnessing and experiencing, that on Monday night, like, don't just move on to the next thing, like, address it. Like, if you need to go talk to somebody first off. And even if it ain't hit you yet, like, if something starts hitting you later, like express that and go through that. And then also, when it comes to the football part, it was great to see Damar, his health improve today, being able to move around a little bit, write a note. I think everybody kind of was able to breathe a little bit, like excel. And now it's like, all right, well, we was going to have to move forward anyway, but I think that helped. And for all the young guys, man, let's just, keep going. What you experienced, that's not normal. That's not normal, but at the end of the day, moving forward, we got each other. And if you feel anything, man, just lean on us. That's it.
What is your advice to T-Ben, especially after some of that negative stuff came out in the media?
I mean, we all just wrapped our arms around T. I mean, shoot, he's over here playing ping pong right now. Like, he's going to be all right, man, because there was nothing malicious, nothing dirty about that play whatsoever. Again, I think what more so is what kind of freaked all of us out in the whole NFLPA world out was that was a routine play. That was a routine tackle, a tackle that all of us have made, and I think that's kind of what, like, it shook me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It shook everybody else. That was just football. And again, there's nothing about T or anybody else involved that was malicious. So to even hear people bring that up, or that's even a take, I'm not, I didn't even put energy into it, but I love to see, again, he's fine. We all gonna be fine, and we all together, man. That's it.
When did you realize it was different? Because you said it was a routine tackle.
Again, like I said, we're used to seeing, if one of our brothers go down. Again, I say that not just teammate. I'm talking about union membership. Doesn't matter what team you're on. You're gonna take a knee. You gonna show respect. Like, man, I hope you're all right. And you realize very quickly once that ambulance pulled up and they were running out there with a stretcher, and when they looked on the trainers or medical staff's faces, that ain't just, what I'm saying, like somebody needs to be taken to the hospital. And then when you start hearing the reactions and seeing the reactions on their face, the trainer's face, and the look of panic and stuff like that, and guys crying, like, that's when you realize, like, there's something serious, like there's something different. And that's again, still processing everything, you know, and going through that.
Just being an undrafted guy, and obviously your involvement with the NFLPA, Mark Collins with the Cincinnati chapter, right now they put together a few $1,000s just trying to help with the family stuff because as he was saying, now people don't realize, you know, they see the words NFL, they don't realize he's not necessarily a millionaire right now.
Right.
When you hear like the chapters doing that more than just a toy drive,
Right.
you know, how important is that?
I mean, yeah, it's what we did see, if you could take anything positive from this, is this, again, our union, our membership, our brotherhood, like we show that, man, there's things that's bigger than football. And we displayed that with the Bengals and Bills, showing like, man, we ain't trying to go out there and play. Like, our concern is this, you know, one of our brothers' health. To see the rest of our community, the rest of our membership brotherhood, both past and present, come together and like, nah, we're gonna do whatever we got to do to make sure, like, let's say his career is over and his life is never the same, that nah, he should be taken care of for, you know what I'm saying, for life. To see everybody else who are outside of the football community to pour in and donate and, you know, show that much concern. I mean, like, that was a great moment for our union, for our membership, for the NFL community, for, you know, everybody, just to show like man, there's some things that's bigger than football.
Yeah, obviously it's been hard, you know, just because, you know, I had something to do with the play and whatnot, but, you know, everybody's been making me feel whole again. You know, I talked to his mom, and, you know, everything is okay. He's doing good, so I'm in a good place right now.
How uplifting is that with his mom?
You know, it was just telling me that she's thinking of me, praying for me, and things like that. That she's telling me that he's okay, and just all the good, positive stuff.
What's it like when you hear that from her?
Man, it feels good. You know, just knowing that he's okay, he's doing better, and you know, it makes me feel better inside. So.
What was your immediate reaction when the play happened and just seeing him laying there too?
Yeah, you know, at first, you know, me being a football player, I'm thinking he just flopped. One of our guys bumped him, and I looked. I just seen him fall, but, you know, I looked again, I seen what happened, and so I just turned my head, trying not to think about it, because I knew it was something crazy and something tragic. But I mean, it was hard. You know, obviously, wasn't in a good place to play for the rest of that game, so I'm kind of glad that we, you know, chose not to play.
What are these last 48 hours and couple days been like for you? How do you kind of?
Yeah, obviously it's been hard, but I'm a professional football player at the end of the day, so I had to shift my focus to the Ravens and be prepared to win this game. So.
How important was it to have your mom in that moment Monday night when you guys?
It was very important. You know, obviously, you know, you always want, you know, a loved one in a moment like that. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about the Ravens. Sorry. So.
I mean, how do you guys go about trying to play a game after that? I mean, all y'all went through that on the field. What's it like preparing as you get ready for still a big game and a lot that y'all want to accomplish?
Yeah, that's something that, you know, it's hard to forget about. But at the end of the day, we are professional football players. We do have a job to do, and just got to shift your focus and focus on the Ravens.
What's been the biggest message the coaching staff has given y'all to try to balance that as you go through?
Yeah, obviously continue to pray for him. That's number one. Continue to pray for him at night and every day when you wake up, but when you come to work. And our focus is the Ravens and winning the game.
How much has the love and support in this locker room and the support of your teammates meant to you?
Man, it means a lot. You know, everybody reaching out, seeing how I'm doing and whatnot. But these guys have my back and I have theirs. So.
TJ, how much has it helped getting back into the routine of working out, getting ready for a game like Baltimore?
It feels good. You know, just to get my mind off things, to get back on the field, being around the guys, and, you know, just thinking about football and only football. But other than that, just ready to go out there and execute.
Has your mind even turned to the significance of this game and what it could mean heading into the playoffs?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Has your mind even focused on the significance of this game and what it could mean to this team as you get ready for the playoffs? Yeah,
man, it's a must win. You know, we want to win this game, and so our goal is to win this game. So that's how my mind is on right now.
You've been through a lot in your life, and you always seem to come out. You don't let things really drag you down, and it affects your work. Where do you gain your strength from?
You know, my mom. she's been there and seen the struggles and done the struggles. So I mean, I see how she bounced back from something that she was addicted to drugs. So I see how she bounced back from something that's hard to bounce back from. It makes it easier on me. So just going back to seeing what she's been through and all the things I've been through is not compared to that. So
does playing football help you? Is it a release for you?
Yeah, for sure. Football is definitely a release for me. It always has been. Sports has always been a release for me as a kid. So in a moment like this, with what happened last week, obviously football is going to be that release for me.
Is there a key message that your mom had for you that night on Monday night afterwards?
Yeah, man. It was just obviously what happened was a tragedy, and just continue to pray. God has them, and once I heard that, it put my mind at ease for the rest of the night, and I was able to get some sleep.
There were some updates this afternoon from doctors that he is neurologically intact, that he's communicating with paper and clipboard. Were you aware of that? Or?
Yeah, I got news this morning, and man, it was another big relief, off of my chest. Just seeing that, just knowing that he's responsive and writing on paper is good. So
you guys had the walkthrough yesterday, and you practiced. A lot of guys were laughing and smiling. Just having each other by your side, how much does that really help you guys prepare for such a big game like this with the Ravens?
Yeah, man. We come in like any other day. We're all blessed to be here and be able to play this game. So for us to come in and not smile is kind of crazy, because there's a lot of people out there in the world that want to be in this position that we're in. So you got to come in with a smile on your face every day, blessed, and thank God every single day. So.
That being said, have you thought about not playing all this week? Is that crossed your mind at all?
No, not at all. Because I know at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job, and my teammates need me, and I need my teammates as well. So I didn't want to let my teammates down. But at the end of the day, I know I have to, I know it's something big, but at the end of the day, I know I got a job to do.
Have you taken any lessons from this personally, the last few days, and what this has been like?
Yeah, for sure, man. Just something like this, obviously, is going to happen. Not really, but something like this. When something like this happens, you gotta obviously control your emotions and be able to come back the next day and shift your focus on the next team.
Damar's parents made clear that they didn't
One more time.
Damar's parents made clear they didn't want anybody to criticize you, that they supported you. What did that mean?
Yeah, man. Damar's mom texted me this morning and told me, about everything, and it made me feel even more at home, and I really appreciate them, just hearing from them and them having my back as well. Yeah, feels good.
There's a report out there that you guys will not play the game. You will not play the Bills game. You won't play the Bills game. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we wanted to play the game. Something happened, and it was best for us not to. And now that I guess we're not playing it now. It is what it is. We still got to come out here and win this week and keep it going in the playoffs.
It might mean you play on the road. It might mean you play on the road in the playoffs.
Hey, whatever we got to do. I know this team is going to be ready for it. So.
Shifting back to the Ravens, one thing Brian Callahan said was that shovel pass that didn't work against the Ravens. Since then, you guys have kind of changed the way you approach the red zone. How much have you guys kind of seen a change in the red zone since then, and how different is it facing this team again since that game?
No, it's obviously, like you said, a little change, but whatever it's called, it's our job to go out there and execute.
T, what has Tice Thornton done to you through this? I see you guys hanging a lot in practice, and you have a close relationship. He was probably why you were at the camp last summer, right?
Yeah, speaking to him, about the whole situation, he kept my mind at ease as well, by him being a really close friend of him. Me talking to him, asking him questions, seeing how he's doing and stuff like that, just helping me out, keeping me keeping me calm through this process. So he's been a good friend through it. So
was working that camp the first time you had met Damar?
Yes.
What can you tell us about that experience last year?
Yeah, when I met him, cool guy, big smile, what's up, bro? How you doing? This and that, and it was just. And then we started working at camp together, and it's been all good ever since then.
Had you all had any communication since then, or any relationship at all? Or?
Not really, but obviously if we was to see each other, we were like, "What's up, bro? How you doing?" You know what I'm saying? All the short stuff. So.
So I know you won't know until you're in the moment, but how can you prepare yourself, mentally, emotionally, physically for this Sunday, knowing it's a short week?
It'd be just like when we played the Browns on that Monday night game. Wait, did we have a bye week after that?
No, you had one more.
Let's see, it'd be just like that. And that short week, just got to shift your focus right away and forget about what happened last game and try to go out and execute the game plan this game and get a win.
We were told by doctors that one of the first things that Damar asked was who won the game.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
That was I actually, had a smile on my face when I heard that because that's probably something I would ask as well. Who won the game? But that's how you know that he was, locked in and ready to, ball out. But it was good knowing that.
They responded, "Yes, you won the game of life."
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, man. He definitely won the game of life with that because, man, that was crazy. It was crazy. So.
Thank you, team. Thanks for your time.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. The last 48, 36, whatever, 48 hours been like for you and for the team?
Honestly, it's been rough, but at this point we can just pray, and we've been getting updates on him, and he's doing much better. So it's definitely take a toll off of us, and definitely his family and his teammates out there in Buffalo. So it's tough, but we also know we got a job to do on Sunday.
You mentioned the positive updates that you all got. What's it like to hear those positive updates?
Oh, it's a great thing, man. It's put a smile on our face. Like I said, it just takes that ease off our mind a little bit and kind of brings us back to getting in game mode, getting ready for Sunday. So, like I said, we're focused, but we're still praying and wishing him well.
Has there been anything that's changed your perspective about this whole thing, about whether it's life or football? And if not, so be it. But I just wanted to kind of.
Not really, just because we know what we signed up for. Obviously, something like that is a free accident. We don't wish that type of thing on anybody, but it's what we signed up for, and we know we go out there and put our lives at risk every time we play. So it's definitely an eye opener, but people are going to feel different ways about it, and we're going to continue to figure out what they want to do.
How do you go about shifting your focus to next week now, which is obviously a big football game?
Lean on you guys in the locker room. Everybody's kind of going through that same emotional phase, but we have each other. We know that we love each other and we got each other's back. Even though it was a tough scene Monday night, we still have a job to do Sunday with a lot on the line, so we got to lock in and get the job done.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I think from my perspective, the thing I always remember about Damar and playing with him through high school and college is he was a dude coming out of high school, had a ton of offers, and I wasn't. And nonetheless, he always treated me the exact same as everyone else and treated me well and with dignity and respect. And, it's common knowledge now, all the work that he's done in the community. That's something that, Pittsburgh guys have always seen and known about him. But, just from a personal standpoint, that's, why I have so much respect for him, just how selfishly, how he treated me through the years from my perspective, and always treated me very, very well. So.
What's it been like to see that GoFundMe just go through the roof like that?
It's just, it's awesome. And it's just the outpouring of love is like the one silver lining, and it's easy to get caught up in all the negative, but, just seeing all the love that's been poured out, to him and his family, it's, first of all shows you what an impact he's had in the football world, in his lifetime so far. And, it's just been great to see all that love.
Did you spend any time down at the hospital with Damar's family, or have you been in contact with them throughout the last 2 days?
Yeah, so the night, on Monday night, my brother and I, who also, played with Damar in high school, we tried to drop by the hospital, and obviously things were, pretty locked down, understandably so. But no, haven't been able to really meet his family or be with his family one-on-one yet. Obviously, gotten to know his family pretty well through the years. Definitely am more comfortable with Damar than, haven't spent a ton of time with his parents through the years. But so just trying to, I guess, know the boundary of, respecting their space, but also, supporting in any way possible. So, yeah.
What was it like when you realized that it was him and that it was as serious as it was that night?
Just kind of, I don't know, just definitely shock, really. There's no really other way to describe it. I was just kind of, in shock. I don't know. It's something that I've never obviously witnessed before, and everyone's kind of handling it the best they can and the way that they know how. And it was just good to have my brother be there. This is actually the first Bengals game that he's been to this season, but having my brother there to just kind of console each other and pray together was definitely helpful through that evening.
We were told that when Damar woke up, one of the first things that he said was asked who won the game.
Yeah.
I mean, does that pretty much describe his character? You know him probably best in this locker room.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's yeah. The simple answer is absolutely. Like, that dude's a competitor, and everything he's done, since I've known him, certainly he's been a competitor. So yeah, that. I mean, just hearing that made me smile. I actually texted my parents as soon as I found that out too, and they were loving it. But it just shows you, just the type of guy and the type of will he has, and I'm sure he's going to fight hard every day to shoot. I'm sure he wants to be back on the field someday. So we'll see, and we'll keep praying. And yeah, I know he's going to keep fighting, and we're going to keep praying for him.
Do you have a best favorite memory of him, of you and him?
Me personally would probably be the state championship game my junior year in high school. There's a video, I'm sure it's been on Twitter a little bit, of this dude running a slant across the middle, and he just absolutely lights this kid up. His feet go above his head, and that was like one of those plays that was just like, geez, like, dude's the real deal. But he'd been making those type of plays all through his career. But that's probably something personally that I've thought about a little bit over the past couple of days.
Kyle, we don't know him personally, but obviously you do. Will you just describe what his personality is like? He seems really humble from the interviews I've seen.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just cool to see, like, people seeing what I've kind of gotten to see, about Damar all through the years, with everyone now being aware of, like, all the community outreach he's done through the years, whether it be like his toy drive or things as simple as just like coming to football practices at his hometown high school, Stowe Rocks. Though he went to Central Catholic with me, that's the neighborhood he's from, and I know he's had a huge impact on so many young Pittsburgh kids through the years. So it's just been cool to see everyone become aware of that. Obviously the circumstances are not ideal, but it's just been cool to see the outpouring of love as well from everyone across the nation.
And I'm sorry if you've already been asked this, but how did you process what happened on the field, especially to someone that you know so closely?
Yeah, to be honest, like, I'm still kind of at this point in time processing, but I think something I'm just trying to do a better job of is just like communicate to people, and been trying to be open to my brother, who also played with Damar in high school, and just staying in touch with people who are all kind of going through this together, and just trying to be there for each other. And it's something that's going to take a while to process, but as long as he keeps getting better, and we're going to all keep rooting for him. So I'm still very, very positive. So.
Did the news today that he was awake and writing on a writing pad and holding hands with his loved ones, did that help you going into today?
It certainly did. Yeah, it definitely gave me a little boost of energy heading into practice today. So it's tough not to get too high with the highs, but just trying to stay even keeled. But it certainly did definitely pump me up to hear that.
What's your favorite Damar Hamlin story or memory?
Okay, well, the one I just told a couple seconds ago was it's all good. There was a play in our state championship game his senior year and my junior year where a kid was coming across the middle on a slant route, and Damar just like demolished him, and the kid's mouthpiece came out and his feet went above his head, and it was a vicious hit. I don't know, it might have been a targeting nowadays, but in high school, like, some of that kind of flew at one point in time. But that was definitely a big time play, and just all the locker room stuff through the years, and just the way that he always treated me with dignity. One of the things I said earlier was, like, I've really been the type of guy who's kind of been fighting for playing time since about my sophomore year in high school. And Damar had a zillion offers, and nonetheless, like, he always treated everyone in that locker room the same way. So that's kind of the memories I hold near about Damar.
Did you know about his charity and how
decision was made to not play in those circumstances, and we just wanted to show our love and solidarity with our, we know a lot of people, this league isn't very big, and so we wanted to make sure that, they knew we were, on their page, on their side, whatever they wanted to do, because at that point the game was still potentially being played. There wasn't really a huge amount of information coming to us, so we wanted to make sure that we made the right decision for both teams, for all the men that were involved, and make the appropriate choice, which I think that was made.
Yeah.
Watching how Zach Taylor handled that situation, did you learn anything about your head coach?
I think he's a wonderful leader of men. I knew he was a great leader up until that point, but between him and Coach McDermott to handle a crisis of an unprecedented nature and have their teams, corral their teams basically, which is what happened. And I really have just a ton of admiration and respect for both of them for the way they handled that situation.
You're the union rep for the team. Has the league been in contact with you guys about what happens next? Your guys' thoughts on making up that game, whether you want to or not? I mean, have they been in communication with you guys at all through you or through any means?
So we did have a call, but that was mostly on the status of our brother. There was really, obviously there's some talk about that, but now that, I don't know the full extent of the prognosis at the moment, but it seems very positive. It's amazing. I feel like 1,000 pounds is lifted off of me with that. But we don't know, and
do you hope that they do take into account Buffalo's thoughts and your thoughts on kind of what happens next?
And I think it's more than just our and Buffalo's thoughts. There's consequences for several teams based on the decision that is made. I don't know if there's any precedent as far as a game cancellation. I had the luxury as a player to be singularly focused on my opponent, which is the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. So I'm sure that this is going to be a highly talked about, perhaps contested decision, but I'm glad I'm not making it.
They are not going to play it today. They are not going to cause that.
So I think that more of the question was with the consequences of not playing it, but I don't know.
I'm just curious if they've talked to you about any point.
There has not been any communication as far as that. I think that's more of an NFL competition committee issue, more so than the NFLPA. But again, playing the Ravens.
Do you think to play the Buffalo?
I don't have an opinion either way. I am again have the luxury of just being a player. I get to roll the ball out there, and whoever we're playing. So administratively, I have no opinion, and I have no say in the game.
I'm sure you've been asked about the shirt already, but I just wanted to ask about the significance of the shirt, where you got it, and obviously you felt.
I think I said I didn't know. I think it's this Cincy brand T-shirts. They had sent a box in. I'm only wearing it because of such good news today, and I just thought it would show nice solidarity. It's a nice shirt, and what a nice gesture by that company to show support for, the two organizations.
What did you think when you first saw that shirt, and why did you feel the not the need, but the desire to put it on?
Very, very thankful for Damar, his health today. The news we got. I think it's a great gesture by this company and doing him a little favor. Yeah.
Damar's a football guy, it sounds like. We were told the first thing he asked when he woke up, he wrote down and asked who won the game. So your thoughts on that, and I know you're a football guy as well.
I think it's a legendary comment. I think it goes down as one of, this is going to be obviously a pinnacle story in NFL history, and for that to be a response by a player that suffered a tragedy just shows the passion and deep love that many have for this game, and I don't think you could script anything any better than that.
Appreciate it.
The Bills captain seems like a natural.
I'm going to give Joey B credit for that. He organized that. He showed great leadership and wanted to show solidarity with the Bills, and I think that was accomplished. Obviously, a lot of things were still up in the air. So,
how tough to play the game Sunday? How tough is that going to be?
Well, a little less tough now that we've got like a good prognosis here, but you're going to have to go out and get past that a little bit, because there is an inherent risk to the game, and we saw a tragedy that was averted backed by fantastic medical care. I think it gives us a lot of confidence in the people that we have around in the buildings. So we're going to go out there and play a football game and win.
I guess since they're not going to play it, I guess that means you guys won the North, I guess.
I'm not commenting on that till I get a hat.
Not a sensitive.
You talked about what he said to doctors, but the doctors said in return to him asking if they won the game, they responded and said, "You won the game of life." And they said, "Yes, you won the game of life."
I mean, another almost unscriptable line. It really is coming together to be an amazing story, and obviously going to keep watching it closely and praying still. And I'm really happy for his family and him and the Bills and everyone that. It was the biggest game of the year. Everyone in the whole football world was watching that. So I got a lot of reached out for a lot of people who I haven't even talked to in a long time. So obviously it deeply affected this country, and I'm really happy for Damar and his family.